I hope you're having a great day and I hope you have a great weekend coming up. Today, I want to talk about a topic again, which we keep stressing about: type 2 diabetes and fat loss. One of the most common questions that I wake up to every single morning is, how do I lose body fat? How do I reverse my type 2 diabetes? How do I melt this abdominal fat in my midriff area and in my belly area? While people jump from one diet plan to another, a piece of paper with food written on can never help you reverse your type 2 diabetes or get rid of the fat that you have accumulated in your midriff area. What I'm going to share with you works. What do you need to do? Do it. As simple as that. Take the right action. For that, you're not going to really like how you feel, because you're going to have to unlearn a lot, and you're going to have to pull yourself away from all the complication and small talk about health and weight loss. When you understand the science behind why your blood sugar levels are not coming down and why you're storing more fat in your abdominal area, both are interrelated with each other. If you're a type 2 diabetic, you will find it more difficult to lose belly fat compared to other people. At the same time, if you're accumulating more and more belly fat, okay, you can become a person who may eventually get type 2 diabetes as well. When you have insulin resistance, you don't have to have type 2 diabetes, but it can lead to type 2 diabetes. Now, the key over here is insulin. And what you need to understand is, and you're going to say, oh, but my doctors told me to eat every 2 hours and all of that stuff. Now, you just hear me out and make your own decision. Listen to your doctor, but also listen to the simple science. Your doctors are right to tell you to eat every 2 to 3 hours because they don't want your blood sugar levels falling too low where you go into hypo. That's because you're on medication. But if you're hitting too low all the time, your doctor should be changing your medication, reducing it. So here's the secret. It's not a secret, it's science. There's nothing secretive about this. Insulin. Think of insulin as a key to your fat cells. Okay? Now to open any fat cells to burn fat, your insulin levels have to be low. Not too low, but low, within range. Only when your insulin levels drop can your fat cells open. So insulin is like the key. The moment the levels are low, it opens up your fat cells and it allows fat into your blood, which can now be used as a source of energy. Now think about this. Your insulin levels are high and you're working out heavy in the gym. You're not going to burn fat at all. Why? It doesn't matter how intensive your workout is, because the key will not do its job. For the key to unlock the fat cells and let the fat into your blood for it to be spent as energy, the levels have to be low, period. That's how it works in your system. Okay, so if you have high carbs all the time, you're maintaining high insulin levels. So the more carbs you eat constantly, your insulin levels go up. Not a problem, your pancreas produces insulin, your blood sugar levels go up and it brings it back down. But now, think about this. You're constantly eating throughout the day. Your blood sugar levels are constantly high and you're constantly producing insulin, or your doctor's increasing your dosage of insulin, which means you never get to the stage where you can unlock and open up your fat cells to start burning fat. When you understand this, now you don't need someone to tell you how to do this. Everyone's going either starvation mode, which is worse because you'll store more fat. So I'm going to give you simple things that can really, really work for you, and you try this for a week. If you're type 2 diabetic, you try this for a week and you be mindful. So if your blood sugar levels fall too low, you know what to do. It's as simple as that. You got to be responsible for that. The condition is within you. Once you've got your medication, the doctor's job is done. You can't outsource every bit to your doctor. You got to be responsible and be mindful. If my blood sugar levels are dropping, what can I eat sensibly? But just mindlessly eating every 2 to 3 hours, your insulin levels, your blood sugar levels are never ever going to get steady. And you're going to need more and more medication. It's as simple as that. So number one, what can work for you? Smart fasting. As little as 10 hours and then build it up to 12 hours. Because in that 12 hours, you actually allow your insulin levels to drop. And when they drop, that's when the magic happens. That's when the magic happens. When your insulin levels are constantly high, your cells are becoming resistant to it. And that's what insulin resistance is all about. And now you have a bigger problem. that even the insulin isn't working to open up your cells to push blood sugar in, which is why your blood sugar levels stay high and your doctors now have to move you from a diabetic medicine to insulin, and then to more insulin, and then to more insulin. That means you're not getting better, you're getting worse, period. You're getting worse. So how do you take things into your control? Number one, start to build slow fasts. So you're keeping a longer gap where nothing's going in into your body. So no food's going into your body. What does that mean? Your blood sugar levels are not rising. And if your blood sugar levels are not rising, what falls down? Your insulin, the way you're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be getting through the day with high insulin all the time. Our insulin levels have to come down to base. It has to come down to base so that the inflammation in your cells, everything relaxes, including your pancreas. So fasting is one way. Two, keeping gaps between your meals. You gotta stop snacking. You gotta stop snacking if you're type 2 diabetic. You gotta stop snacking if you have fat that you wanna lose. Because again, no matter how intensive your workout is or how organic your food is, you know the science now. If you're constantly eating, your blood sugar levels are constantly high, you have to keep producing insulin. So you never reach the stage where you can actually burn fat. And that's why most people on fat programs, whether it's fat exercise and fat diet, the initial kilos that they lose is water weight, muscle mass, but not fat. You cannot lose fat until your insulin levels drop, period. That's how it works. So keeping gaps, eating only when you're truly hungry. This is a great practice. It's difficult because people are used to their meal timings and people are mostly feeding their emotions rather than feeding their physical self. If you can master this, my last talk, which I did a couple of months ago about hunger, I've had over 100 people I don't even know write in to say how by only eating when they're hungry, they are off medication. And this is not like, wow, it's how the body works. It's how the human body works. By eating only when they were hungry, they had an extended gap between their meals, which allowed their insulin levels to drop. Now, if you are that patient on multiple medication and really your levels have been so badly managed over the years, you have to move into this very, very slowly. And maybe because there's so much of fluctuation in your level, you may have to, maybe the gap between your meals cannot be too long. But can you work towards it? Absolutely, yes. Or you can become one of a million people who say, I don't want to work towards it and I'll just take medication. Remember, at some point that medication is going to have to get more and more than the medication, your cells are soon going to get resistant to insulin. And that's when all the serious problems start to happen. So master this. It requires discipline and it's a beautiful self-realization exercise. Eating only when you are hungry. Now you'll have 10 things, but Luke, I work and I have a fixed meal time. I can't solve your problems for you. Okay, it's difficult for everyone, but it's not impossible. Figure out a way. So if you have a fixed meal time at office, maybe that's your fixed meal time. But if you're going to be hungry 7 hours later, you're probably home and that's within your control. So where there's a will, there's a way, or people can have tons and tons of excuses. So my whole point is mastering to eat only when you are truly hungry. You wake up in the morning with your breakfast. Are you hungry? If you're hungry, eat. If you're not hungry, why are you eating? It's lunchtime. Are you hungry? If yes, please eat. If no, why are you eating? And after 4 to 5 days, you find out what your actual body cycle is. Maybe you need just 2 meals a day. Maybe you need 3 meals a day. Maybe your body works well with a 4-hour or 5-hour gap between each meal. Now, some people will say, oh, I get acidic. That's because you have problems and you have to first sort out your acidic problem. It's not the hunger that's making you acidic. You're already acidic. And you got to solve that problem by reducing inflammation in your gut, working with your stomach acid levels. But that doesn't make hunger a bad thing. Otherwise, everyone out there hungry would be acidic. But it's not the truth. Unhealthy people are acidic. People with poor lifestyle are acidic. Hunger is not the cause. Of course, when you move into hunger and starvation and you produce stomach acids and all of that stuff, that also passes away after a while. So the point is, hunger is not the problem. It is your poor lifestyle. So if gaps between your meals make you acidic, fix that first and then go back to retraining your body to eating only when you're hungry. Exercise. When you're sedentary, you have no movement. Blood circulation, blood sugar levels high. That's why I encourage people, especially type 2 diabetics, people who are looking to lose fat, after every meal, walk for 10 minutes. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what your position is. Make it work if you want a result. Walk for 10 minutes. Plan a call, plan to talk to your mom, your dad, whatever it is, after every meal. So after your meal, automatically you get up, you walk for 10 minutes, and then you can sit back down, start your work, maybe sit in Vajrasana for a bit. That's completely up to you. So when you exercise, your blood sugar levels drop. And that's why fasted workouts, if it suits you, fasted workouts are superior. Why? You've been fasting, your blood sugar levels are already low. Now you start working out. Your body needs more energy. You open up those fat cells immediately. But you put a pre-workout snack into your body's going to break that down over 2 to 3 hours. Your workout's over in 1 hour. So fasted workouts, if they suit you, are superior for people with type 2 diabetes, for healthy people, and for people who are looking to lose fat, because you hit the fat stores immediately. Now, for someone looking to gain weight, you wouldn't do that. You will have a pre-workout, a post-workout, and you will eat regularly. It's different for everyone. The next thing, overeating. Just think about what happens every time you overeat. You'll say, oh, I'm good 5 days of the week, but my weekends I overeat. No, your weekends you enjoy, but you don't overeat. Because when you overeat, you got to produce more insulin. Your body's going to take a lot more time to bring down your blood sugar levels, so that key is not working to unlock your fat percentage. And it takes you 2 to 3 days to recover from the binge eating of 1 day. Remember that. And that's why people say, oh, I'm working out so hard. Everyone says they're doing everything. And when you break it down, you'll find those 5 drinks that happen on 1 day in a week, or that 1 day in a week where they've binge eaten calories worth 2 days. And then they wonder why it's not happening. So the key is insulin. Your sleep. Your sleep and your insulin work directly together. You're sleep deprived, you have problems with abdominal fat and type 2 diabetes, period. That's something that even your diabetic medication cannot fix. And then the impact of stress. You're chronically stressed, blood sugar levels are going to be high, whether you like it or not. But coming back to this, try fasted workouts. If you don't want to do something intensive, do a fasted 1 hour brisk walk in the morning and then eat. Because you will get straight into your fat storage and your blood sugar levels will get better. Now, out of fear, there are so many people living in fear, and this is the fear put in by the medical world for the wrong reasons. That, oh, be careful of hypo, be careful, just keep eating all the time. Have a Coca-Cola if your blood sugar levels go down. Have a Coca-Cola when your blood sugar levels go down, and now you've wreaked havoc in your body for the next 8 hours. But hey, don't worry, we got a pill for you. Yeah, let's just increase and tweak your medication for you. You never get better. You're just getting worse. What's the biggest problem we have in the world right now? Chronic illness. People in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s with more medication than they should have. Like I always say, and this is the truth whether you believe it or not, there is no money in being dead, and there is no money in being healthy. All the money to be made is by being chronically sick. You're in the system, you're generating revenue every single day. Now, there are some people who genuinely need it. They're on steroids, their blood sugar levels go up, all of that. There are genuine and non-genuine. If you are sick because of poor lifestyle, that is your responsibility to fix. If you're sick because of something out of your control, yes, that can be handled in a different way. But if you are joining the bandwagon of millions of people out there who do not want to change their lifestyle because they believe that there is a drug making them better, you are highly mistaken. All these drugs are making you worse. They're good when you need it for a short period of time while you change your lifestyle. And while you change your lifestyle, lose that body fat, your blood sugar levels come down, you work with your doctor to reduce the medication and eventually stay on a low dose or get off it completely. That's how it's got to work. It's not your doctor's job alone, it's your job as well. People with a lot of money come and they outsource their health. Hey, Luke, I'm paying you and you're going to take care of everything. I say, hey, hang on. You're going to have a part to play as well. You have a role to play as well, because it's not going to work if you think you can outsource all of that stuff. Are you going to give me discipline? Are you going to give me good sleep? Are you going to give me at least 3 meals good in a day? If you're willing to do that, we can make it work. If you're not willing to do that, your money doesn't matter. It's not going to fix you. So you see, if you have a lifestyle problem, it is your responsibility to fix it. And you got to own that responsibility instead of complaining and blaming and comparing and following fads and looking for shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. When are you going to wake up to that? There are no shortcuts. If there were shortcuts, everyone would be on it. Who doesn't like a shortcut? I would love a shortcut, but they don't exist. The science is insulin. To burn fat, open up the fat cells, insulin has to fall down within range. When it's up, it is impossible to burn fat. No matter how intensive your CrossFit workout is, no matter how heavy your weights are that you're lifting, it can't. If insulin is high, it cannot unlock. You'll break down muscle mass, you lose water weight, and you lose bone density as well. That's what's happening with so many people today. Oh, look, I work out, but I got osteoporosis. How can you be having osteoporosis if you work out so diligently? Why? Because you missed a whole load over and above your workout. Insulin, blood sugar levels, hormones, sleep, stress levels, micronutrients, synergy of nutrients working together. Sounds complicated, but it's easy when you remove all the clouds from your mind of quick fixes and you now really respect the human body and put these little mechanisms in place. So remember that again, if you are type 2 diabetic, I am guaranteeing you and I am challenging you to reverse your type 2 diabetes by following these simple steps. Fasting, smart fasting, eating when you're hungry, being smart. If your blood sugar levels drop because you're keeping longer gaps, go to your doctor and say, fix my medication. Cut down my medication because I'm dropping my blood sugar levels too quickly. Exercise, fasted workouts, keeping gaps between your meals. You do these things and I can guarantee you your blood sugar levels are going to fall down. They're going to start falling automatically. Inflammation in your cell, and you're going to find yourself losing inches, not weighing scale weight that gives you a wrong number. You know, you can lose 3 kilos of water and you're like, hey, happy and celebrating, but you're still not fitting into your clothes. You've not lost a single inch because you haven't burned fat. Have a great weekend. You may want to dedicate the next week, or let's start off with one day. I challenge everyone, eat only when you're hungry. And now people are going to say, hey, Luke, but I have a party tonight and that's your problem. You can start today, you can start 10 years later, that's your problem. But the point is, when you start, do it for self-realization. Eat your next meal only when you are truly, truly hungry. And do this for 3 to 5 days. And I can guarantee you, you're going to be writing into me telling me how amazing you feel. And that's all I want, for you to feel good. Because life is about feeling good. We got to stop buying so many things that make us feel good all the time because we don't feel good inside. So we need to fulfill that feeling of goodness from material things all the time. Material things are great, but when you're overdoing it, why? Because you don't feel good. When you feel good inside, what are your needs in life? Tell me, what are your needs in life? When you really feel good, your whole life becomes simple because that feeling comes from within. When it's not from within, you need it from outside. So try this and let me know how you feel. Have a great Sunday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep. And remember, you care is all about you. And when you do the hunger thing, the first thing that's going to come is fear. What if? What if? I don't know what if. You got to try. You got to try. You take other risks in life. You don't want to take a risk with hunger, a little bit of discomfort and pain that you may have. So what if you get a little bit acidic? So what? You're making a change. Whenever good change has to happen in your life, bad stuff first has to happen. You start meditating, you don't move into calmness immediately. All the trash inside you has to first come up. The negativity, the bad thoughts, all of that. Nothing's easy. But if you're not willing to go through that little bit of discomfort, you're going to be in the same place that you are right now. Constantly chasing weight loss, chasing medication, spending half your life only talking about health and body fat. You really want a life like that? The choice is yours. Have a good one.